They're what? Okay.
Just
We are
was
going
waiting,
to
so just keep
continue to
going.
try and figure this one out. Again, our
Trying to
apologies
fix
for
this.
this. The thing is, I have never seen vMix freak out like this. Give me one moment. It's if I don't even know what I can
I can't
do
come to you,
here
man.
to try and get it fixed is the thing.
I mean, honestly, it's better if we drop it and we continue again.
Okay, I might have to do that. I might have to
It's
do that
better if we
here.
drop it. It's better if we drop this whole section in general as well. So
Okay, I'm gonna try that out here.
yeah.
Let me go ahead and
Up in general. Whereas Helper Smashers, they do have something a bit more aggressive, really good pick off potential with the Mars Lina Axe, better so than Chicken Fighters for sure, despite them having the DK Hoodwink combination. Less push, but I'd say a little bit better team fight, and even team fight that can pierce the BKBs. While Supernova is decent for the most part against BKBs, it's not as good as Berserker's Call for obvious reasons, or as Winter Skirts. So I'm liking Helper Smashers. I think they're a bit more specific in what they want to achieve, but I find that Chicken Fire is a lot more diversity. Any carry really suits them. You just want a nice little win condition here. I think Dusa was perfect for them. They got rid of the TP themselves. Luna's still in the pool actually for them.
Luna wouldn't be
So
bad. Yeah.
I mean, I know
Uh,
it's not the ideal pick. I mean, sorry, not a Chicken Fighters pick from what I've been able to see, but it is a meta pick. Uh, Judging by Chicken Fighters drafts, I would actually expect here might be the Void PA, but the Winter Wyvern I think cancels both of them. So I would much rather see the Luna.
I like the Luna as well. Something that can, whether it's going to be the Mars or the Axe offlane, we're not sure yet. Something that will be able to do decently in the lane. Your glaives are still going to be bouncing around to enemies. If you're called, your glaives, unlike most other range carries in the game with these kind of auto attack
Mm.
modifiers, will still bounce through the walls of the arena, so you can still actually be effective when the arena's out. That's not something you can say for a gyro or for a TB, right? So those are issues there that the Luna would solve. I honestly I wouldn't mind it, even with this Pugna pick, especially with this Pugna pick. Having just a cheap long range stun you could throw out if your Invoker is getting drained and he doesn't have Cold Snap or Tornado. You know, you don't want to have to commit a DK Dragon Tail necessarily for the Pugna. Quick little Lucent Beam. And there it is. There it is.
There we go.
I like the
There we
pick.
go. Yeah, I think it's solid. I'm interested by Hellbear Smashers. Something I've been noticing a lot from the games I've been casting, both in English and Spanish for them. Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say, like, they're picking Stormers heroes, but just giving them to Borania. And it seems like this is not going to be a Stormer, or sorry, a Borania Pugna, but instead it's going to be a support Pugna. Ige Barney is something that he's much more well known for, which is the Lina. Um, and Ace on the Axe. Actually, I saw a game previously where they were, or last game they played against. Well, what was the last series they just played? Helper Smashers versus Ghost Frogs. Yeah,
Yes.
Ghost Frogs. And in that game, they had an Axe versus a Drow, which is a really good carry Axe matchup, and they still didn't choose to do that, and they actually still gave it to Misery. So I'm actually surprised. And I was like, oh, maybe Ace doesn't play it or hasn't really tried it as much. I know Ace is quite diverse, but I haven't seen any matches with him with carry Axe, and it seems like they didn't care, and they're just waiting for the right opportunity. Axe carry here is actually really solid against Charlie. He's decent against DK in lane, and can deal quite well with the Hoodwink. So I like both drafts. Chicken Fire is a bit more normal. I feel like there's a bit more flex here, or a bit more speciality in Helper Smashers. I'd slightly side with them, to be honest, because I'm a big fan of this Carry Axe combo versus the Luna. So
Okay.
that's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I share your confidence. I think Chicken Fighters, like these fights are going to be pretty scrappy, especially in the mid game. And I think Hellbear Smashers, they've got a really sick timing of Mars, not his first item, but more his second item. I'm looking for on Rasmus, whether it's going to go Blink BKB or Yule's whatever, right? Probably going to be a BKB though, because that timing is going to line up really
Mm-hmm.
nicely with whatever Borania's second item is going to be, as well as Ace's most likely Manta, Blink, and Shard, right? We're going to have like a huge rush from Hellbear Smashers at 20 to 25 minutes. But Chicken Fighters have really good pickoff as well. They've got really great pickoff potential with their lineup, so I think they can do well to kind of avoid a lot of this. The egg's not super strong, I will say, for Chicken Fighters, but I think there are going to be other ways for them to get around what this huge power spike will be. We'll see as we get right into game number 1 of our series. Best of 3 elimination match, this one.
Prepare for battle.
A wyvern's breath.
What I like about the line of reliably. DK maybe, and that's only Borania. It makes a lot of mistakes in positioning, or maybe the tornado or the pushback. But again, these are very big ifs. It's not a clockwork. It's not say even like something like a storm or a void spirit, something that's like very easy to jump them with. It's something that relies on blink daggers, something that can be stopped by the Pugna. I like the Hellbear Smashers draft in that sense, and you always have the Lina orbital cannon to be dealing damage constantly.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I would agree with you here. Both these teams, of course, coming off of a fresh win, and of course, Chicken Fighters were able to get what a lot of people are saying was quite the upset victory. I would tend to agree with them. You know, Viking GG cruising through their second season in the lower division, whereas Chicken Fighters finishing last, right? No, it was second last because Hippomaniacs would have been last.
Yeah, last. Oh yeah, second last, right. And even apologizing for the performance that season as well. So I mean, I like the talking for the week, but also justification for being surprised there. Axe, there's a light strike array actually, and that's gonna save Axe there from Surefire death. In fact, Shibe might still be in trouble. That said, though, I do agree that in general, it seems like one bad season happens, and all of a sudden we completely discredit a team. A team that I would say that for the most part, Chicken Fighters is proven players, right? Supreme, ironically, actually used to be with a Hippomaniacs player himself. Incredibly good mid laner. People really praised him when he was back there with Saberlight. I feel like now that they added Pexu and they got Shibe back, really solid little combo here. New 5 was best known for his fame with 4 Anchors plus Sea Captain. I think Charlie Dota has always proven to us, particularly with heroes like Morphling on him, that he's just an insane carry. So the team is definitely not a team I would discount ever. It's not unproven people whatsoever. It's a very, very solid team. Like, of the tier 2 scene.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. I'd agree with you there. Ace, of course, I mean, we look at what Hellbear Smashers are rocking. Of course, we got Tofu, big fan, who's a bit newer to the scene, admittedly. But Ace, no stranger to the TI main stage. I think he had a top 4 finish on Secret. Borania, level up. You know, he used to be on that one, and then Ghost Rocks more recently. And Rasmus, or aka Misery, with a fair amount of experience himself, not to mention Gilger. So, lots of experience on here, and it's a shame, you know, due to the qualifying nature. My goodness, there I found it eventually that we're gonna have to bid adieu to one of these two teams by the end of the day.
Yeah, Borania is. I've always considered it to be a really, really solid mid laner. I think most people would agree with that. Like, even despite the team's qualifications, the guy is just a serious skill. You just watch. With mid laners, it's easier to judge, right, rather than 5s, because you don't need to look at the qualifications or results or whatever. Because it's not just about the captaining or communication powers. It's just, are you a good mid? And you just watch the mid lane for like 10 minutes, and you realize, yep, he's a good mid. There we go. You know, and particularly, I feel like his pool of heroes is quite impressive and something that they needed as an upgrade from the Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper was great. Borania offered that versatility in the draft, and sometimes Smash is a lot.
Top lane Shibe, although he's on the off lane, DK is going to find himself struggling a bit versus this Axe. He can get the denies in. As we can see, he's already up to 4, which is going to hinder the start of Ace. But as soon as now we've got the counter Helix, even all this bonus armor for counter from the Dragon's Blood, rather, isn't going to do much versus all the pure damage that Ace is going to be able to pump through. Tofu as well, just spamming the Arctic Burn whenever it's off cooldown, even getting a couple of denies in here. So lane's not easy for the DK. I have a feeling I've seen this matchup, Axe carry versus offlane DK, a few times, and it's never really the comfortable start that DKs usually get.
That's true. That's true. The DK doesn't have the easiest matchup against the Axe. Actually, I think the Axe in general is picked up, or started being picked up much more usually from all regions when they realize, oh hey, it actually is a pretty decent counter to DK, at least in the lane. Very similar to how the TV got picked up. But you never really push him out completely. Winter Wyvern somewhat helps with Arctic Burn, but as you can see, Era can also trade really nicely with Tofu. In fact, Era might just get the kill here. Arctic Burn used. Tofu trying to get away. Little slow. Not going to be sufficient. Oh, they don't have actually the pushback ready. So that slow is going to help him, together with a Fairy Fire, to just barely get out of this alive.
Yeah, just that Arctic Burn slow adding up, right? And cooldowns on Bushwhack still a bit longer, especially at all levels, because it always has a 14-second cooldown. Luckily, couldn't imagine that ability with much shorter of a cooldown. First blood is going to happen down bottom as Pexu trying to trade himself with Gilger top lane. Rasmus is going Oh no, it was bottom. I thought they were going to go top, and they are now, but Shibe slowed, and not enough points here in the Breathe Fire is not going to be able to collect this kill onto Ace.
Yeah, I don't feel like Ace needs to push this too much. It's nice to annoy Shibe, of course, but after all, Axe is really good at recovering in the jungle, and if you manage to get a DK a good start, then you're in trouble. Because he'll be able to hunt you as well. But, you stay there, you spin, you bother Shibe, but you definitely don't die, you don't get many kills. Especially because you know Borania is going to have a really good game anyway, because Lina versus Invoker is very Lina favorite lane, and also Borania is great. So even though it's Supreme Invoker, I feel like you can trust your Lina to do a lot early, and you don't want Shibe to be able to join them. Era though, they do have a pushback here ready. Oh, they cut the tree. Nice job by Ace. Stop the pushback from coming out, and Ace even thought of killing Era, but maybe they should have thought twice there, as he ends up dying to Breathe Fire. Not what they were expecting.
Yeah, couldn't make it out of there alive, unfortunately. And yeah, speaking of Borania's start, I mean, just look at the amount of money he's already amassed. Quickly switching over to net worth just to see how big of a difference this makes. We're only 5 minutes into the game, and he's already amassed what looks to be about, what, a 500 net worth lead over the Invoker. So we'll go back to net or to last hits. But a very, very commanding lead already, beginning to set up a couple of stacks. So he's not even forcing this support Pugna, Gilger to Gilger can still be in this bottom lane and keep fighting. And Rasmus kind of needs him here because the Luna lane is hard. Lina is just actually making so many money moves around the map, not just for herself, but for her team. Very incredible start for Borania.
Yeah, that's very well done. And also, with that in the bottom lane, you get Misery to have or Rasmus, sorry, to have a good start on Mars, which you kind of want. And you also nullify one of the main reasons why you pick Luna, which is an incredible laning phase, right? Yeah, she can recover nicely if her laning phase doesn't go well, but ideally you put the Mars against the ropes and he's not able to hunt you. Because Mars is a really good hero for hunting Luna early against the with the Arena of Blood. Even with an Eclipse, Mars is able to tank that, actually, especially if you have one more hero with it. If the Eclipse is only level 1, it's not that major against Mars.
Shibe, top lane. There's no call.
Shibe in the top lane.
Yeah, so a couple of creeps now approaching. But there's the infused raindrops getting put to work on Shibe. Not going to do much versus the counter Helix, but he's be able to make it out relatively unharmed. Mid lane, same cannot be said for Borania though. Swept up by the tornado. The rotation from Peksu is going to maybe start to cut off or cut into his lead that he's so far built over Supreme.
Yeah, not bad. Gilger. He is trying to rotate a bit, trying to help with the lean, acknowledging that, it's great that Borania did so much early, but now you need to start boosting her, otherwise she will fall behind. And she is a relatively easy kill early when you don't really need anyone to be able to hunt her down. So I appreciate that Gilger just stays here for a while. You can leave Mars to his own devices. Ideally doesn't die though, there's the MP Tornado yet again, but this time Borania is able to tank it nicely.
Shibe. I love the DKs, just the Dragon Towel stun and just a quick little deny. It's they add up.
And he goes nay.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
They add up, man.
Like the voice lines for DK are such a basic voice line packet. It's so great. Shibe. There's the Arctic Bird, but the hits from Winter Wyvern do nothing, honestly. Tofu, there's no need for you to hit him again. It's just physical damage at this point. Tofu might actually be in trouble. They did use a bushwhack already. Acro shot trying to block his path. There's the Breathe Fire as well. Tofu wants to heal back up. There's a bushwhack ready for Era. Is he going to use it? He's not. He knows he's not going to get the kill even if he commits all the mana. In the end, it feels like you're forcing Ace to defend his Winter Wyvern too much, and you're not letting him free farm. Difficult time in the top lane. Lots of skirmishing, though, kind of how we expected with these shorter cooldowns. Shiba now popping this first Elder Dragon form. I think that poison is going to be enough to get Ace back, at least for now, as he looks for the kill onto Era. Scurry activated, but Tofu's bonus attack range is going to net him the kill here onto the Squirrel down bottom, where skirmishing is. There's going to be a rotation from Supreme onto Rasmus. That is going to be the Urn, the first 2 Urn charges, I should say. So now he's going to be a little bit more potent with the Cold Snap as he looks to rotate back towards the mid lane. Alright, now we're going to start to see the Supreme Invoker in action. Always excited to watch this guy on the Invoker, and with the Urn charges you can gank. I'd say most lanes, maybe the Axe is the hardest kill, but I think he's still killable, honestly, especially if you have like a Hoodwink with you. And everything else just dies to you. Particularly Pugna is a super easy kill. In the top lane, we do see a bit of a fight here. DK is getting slightly harassed. We even see the Lina join them. They're looking to kill somebody here. But Borania knows he can't dive too far, and he's only a Lina. And you don't really want the Axe diving right now, so you want to be recovering. Bushwhack misses. Borania capable of making out of here alive, but a bunch of wasted time for him.
Supreme is looking to cut them off, though. He's going to rotate on through. He'll run into Tofu first. Ace and Borania are both here to reinforce. Tofu is going to throw himself in the cold embrace. Aaron is not going to do enough to take him down quite yet. There's the ghost walk away. No detection, so he will be allowed to leave. Tofu is holding on to a sentry and will plant it just to make sure he's not, picked up on the way out. Supreme, he's got other plans instead. So he's just going to go ahead and rotate around and probably go and back farm. This was an unsuccessful venture for him.
Ace did see him. Right now, though, the great thing about Hellbear Smash is that you are being given space to farm on your Mars, which should be dictating the tempo of the game early, but I feel like Shibe might be in a similar position. When it comes to Mars versus DK, honestly, when you have a partner Hoodwink, I feel like DK is just as useful as the arena. You don't really need a partner for Mars usually, but who cares? If you have Hoodwink, that's what you're meant for anyway, and DK can push lanes whereas Mars can't.
Speaking of pushing, he's getting to work on just that right now. The Mars can push, but mostly after kills, and you can see that scan out from Hellbear Smashers indicating that they are looking to possibly set up for something. But Tofu, the Winter Wyvern over the Elder Dragonform Knight, bits of bait though. Era from above, he's going to be able to set up the Bushwhack. Some more extra damage to come through. Breathe Fires in 10. Tofu should still die, I think, to Era. Just the auto attacks alone, as he will go down.
The top lane, there seems to be a rotation here from Rasmus, who wants to turn this into a kill. Shimon, there's the arena blood. They have no way to pin him against the wall. Dragon Tail, it's on for a second. There's at least one hit from the wall that he's going to get. It's not the life rate, though. EMP comes out, and if Defensive Chicken Fighters is here, they're actually going to bushwhack poor Gilder, and he's going to die. Shibe does get decimated by Borania. They want to kill Air on top of that. Dragon Slave will do the trick here. So Borania, nice little rotation mirroring the Invokers, and managing to even out the score. I'd say even a little bit of a lead as you kill an offlaner and you even defend your tower. So well done, Borania.
Yeah, you kill the offlaner through his Elder Dragon form. He's going to have it back in 30 seconds anyway, but he's not going to have a wagon. He's going to have to, make a whole nother push just to get this whole thing started yet again. Borania, by the way, just to speak on how he's playing, still killing it. Top of the net worth, still leading over Charlie, just barely. But the thing that I actually wanted to point out was he has queued up this first item, Yule Scepter. There's been, I forget who I was casting with, but they always like to talk about whether or not Yule's first was the right choice, because usually you were about 2 to 3K shy of what that BKB, right? It does kind of push back the rest of your timing. We'll see now as Borania will be in some trouble. Sharpshooter.
Yeah, Borania, 400 HP, but still gonna live. In fact, Supreme is the one who's in trouble now. He's been taunted. He's going to fall, it seems like. Deafening Blast actually might just save him. Supreme? No, they have the Culling Blade to finish him up. Goodbye to the Invoker. Good job. Hellbear Smashers taking a really nice kill there. And not even losing Borania. On the point of the Yule Scepter, by the way, I am a big fan of Lina travel early, because it feels like if Lina makes a mistake and she missteps, you can always recover with travel boots, rather the Yule Scepter regard. You need to just keep snowballing, right? So it puts a bit more pressure on you. But if Borania is confident, I would like to see it.
All right, I'd like to see it too. Not taking that death there is going to allow him to finish it off early, rather than losing that unreliable gold. Haven't talked much about the Gilger support Pugna, have we? Great against the Invoker, isn't it? We got a lot of people who want to be spamming out their spells here as well for Chicken Fighters, so wouldn't be too surprised if we see that thing pick up a kill or two, the Nether Ward that is, pick up a kill or two just across the game.
It's pretty good against, now that there's the base 50 damage here, the spam spells like say Luna, for example, are kind of be annoyed by it a bit. So, not bad. Pretty good against the Phoenix as well, for obvious reasons. Before you use the Supernova, of course. So, yeah, I like the Pugna. There's a lot of save potential as well. Very much how you can't break the backline and get to the Lina. You can't break the backline and get to the Pugna, unless DK decides to sacrifice himself. And you always have the spear to send him back if he tries to Dragon Tail you.
Top tower taken. In exchange for that, Hellbear Smashers, they're going to look for their own tower down bottom. Chicken Fighters, though, they can freely TP here. They wouldn't be losing out on the tower top. Pexu with the level 4 Fire Spirits and level 1 Supernova ready to go. He's currently still defending the waves. Rasmus from behind will cut himself on through. Knows he's a hero now because his smoke's broken. Arena ready to go. They're going to have to pin him to the wall or to the trees, and now they have Life Drain on top. Is going to be enough damage to get him killed. Chicken Fighters are going to, it looks like, not look to defend the tower. Instead, they'll just set up in the Hellbear Smashers jungle.
As I said, Fairy Fire, or sorry, the Fire Spirits cost a bunch of mana, and that means that's a lot of damage with these. So they'll be quite happy with this, and now they're able to push without actually needing to rotate anyone too special, right? Mars was already in this lane to begin with, so we can't count that as rotation. And Piranha and Ace are both farming. They're pretty happy with this. Good usage of the Pugna early.
Yes, the Pugna. They're going to be now looking to defend this mid tower, though.
Look, mate. Look. Alright, you're gonna make fun of my Spanish pronunciation. It's a U. It's a U.
Okay, okay.
What is it, a pug or a pook? It's obviously a pook.
Elder Dragon form is going to get that fortification out. We already have the vessel completed for Supreme, by the way. I think it's him and someone else always really likes to go for vessel first item on the Invoker. Always really like to see it now that he's at level 10. Picked up that first point in Exhort. We'll see what his next item's going to be here. Sometimes I see bots. Sometimes I see, against TAs especially, we used to see in Eastern Europe a lot of Witchblades to get through refraction charges. Maybe even the Midas. So we'll see here what we can get going. He's just going to continue farming on the mid lane Invoker.
Classic, I mean, I think it's offensive to call this a deadly build because, you know, I don't think the guy invented it, but it is the first time I got to see the Midas straight up after the best.
Oh, he's going
So,
for it.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a transitional item.
You
Actually, earlier there was a game where I remember seeing Piranha actually go straight Midas on the Invoker. Earlier today when he was playing against Ghost Frogs. And I was thinking, oh, that's actually really clever because he was up like against double the spell. And I was like, there's no point in building Urn this game. And it actually worked wonders. And that game made me reconsider my thoughts on the Midas Invoker. Until now I thought, oh, traditional item, it's fine because you might as well buy it. But I think it's still quite legit, even if you buy this first item. I think the Quasic Sword Invoker is back in town with the Cataclysm.
All right.
So I like this build a lot.
I like the sound of that. I think it's pretty decent as well. Hold that thought, actually, because Tofu's been caught by the Bushwhack EMP. It's going to leave him without any mana or life, so he will fall alongside his Tier 1 tower. I think it was Rabel who is for Windstrike, who is the Invoker that plays very, very similar to this.
The Vessel
right?
one.
The Vessel into Midas, first point of Exhort at 10, starting to play a little bit more active. So that's who I was trying to remember earlier from our Eastern European cast. But Supreme, he's killing it so far as well. Rabel, he sets a high bar though, but I think, you know, in the TI quals, this is the time to be looking to leap over that bar and clear it.
Supreme Boker is awesome. I've been following this guy ever since he was in Hibblemaniacs back in the Czech stack, you know. Actually, when Saberlight, before he got picked up, he was just a real stand-up player, and his Invoker really, really stood out to me, particularly that and his Ember, right? And so I'm really happy to see him do well in these qualifiers. Let's see if he can continue to surprise at the end of this game as the MP hits Mars. Mars actually going to screw Supernova in the face, but they break it in seconds thanks to Piranha. The Winter's Curse also giving him enough time to actually reach the fight and kill off Supreme. They're going for Charlie next. That Eclipse is not really bothering Ace, and they want to go straight for the tower. As they do so, sorry, that's the Eclipse.
Another life
There's
drain.
the Eclipse trying to bother Ace, but with the help of the life drain and the Golden Brace, Ace will survive. In fact, Piranha might want to just kill the Luna. Poor Charlie needs to get away. The Battle Hunger is still on him. He's been slowed. The hits is going to finish off Charlie with the Battle Hunger. They almost have him. He needs to heal back up. He needs to hit something. He's actually going to live.
Alive.
No way. The passive healing too good. Charlie lives with 4 HP. Only 2 points in Battle Hunger. Ace wishing had that extra point as opposed to the point of Berserker's Skull. But alas, I don't think it was the wrong choice. I just think it's those moments which make you regret your skill build.
No, of course. I call that 2 life drains in the fight. Gilger, as happy as can be now with the haste, just dancing his way back to base. This is always a very happy Pugna. You just had a team fight where your team did okay, right? Piranha really kind of reaching for that kill, right? Trying to get that one almost underneath the Tier 2 tower for the Luna. Unfortunately, kind of getting kited to his death. But a Pugna with very little HP, very little mana at the end of the fight means he accomplished a whole lot. It was a great initiation.
Yeah.
That fight opened up. A great tornado onto Rasmus, allowing the DK to naturally close the gap and make sure the arena, if it ever came out, wasn't going to be effective. And they thought they just had him killed to start off the fight. That wasn't the case, though. The life drain healing was just too immense, and they actually had to focus a couple extra seconds onto Rasmus to make sure he could stay alive. And the initiators of Chicken Fighters weren't really all on the same page. So that's what allowed Hellbear Smashers to get off a couple of good pickoffs there and make the fight more or less even. They still get the Tier 1 tower, so at the end of the day, they got what they came for. Now they're going to have to look to defend their jungle, however, as Shibe. Blink Dagger at the ready. There's going to be another kill onto the Wyvern, as he will blink forward, give her the bonk, and another sharpshooter here to pick up the kill.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I know technically wyverns aren't dragons, but I feel like Shiba doesn't care. He's been really role-playing the anime dragon. We're going for the wyvern every single time. And that's your role as Shiba. You have to deal with the wyvern, the Pugna, and the Lina. So hopefully someone can come help you somewhere in between the game and actually join in the fights and jump the enemy. I think Shiba's been doing a pretty good job of stopping this healing, but you have too much of a backline. And with Mars and Axe, that's enough of a front line to be able to deal with the damage that Chicken Fighter is able to put out. I'm liking what Smasher has done. I think that last team fight was actually better off for them if it wasn't because the Luna barely got away.
Yep.
You know? That kind of like running away like 4 HP with like 20 HP for what, a solid 30 seconds really frustrated them, and it forced them to go much further than they'd like just for a kill. It's so difficult though to disengage and go and say, no, we can't kill this Luna when she's like 20 HP left, right? So I get that.
It's a hard thing to muster, this balance act of going for some kills while making sure that taking care to not overextend and really open yourself up for attacks, as we see now both teams looking in for an opening as they will smoke up. Razzus leading them across the river, just going to go out and blindly go on in. Actually, there's a ward here. Allows him to scout the Luna's location. Stunned up now by the LSA. Barania letting it go here with the Laguna Blade. Will be able to eviscerate her. Shibe keeping them at bay as the Supernova looks to reset the fight, but Hellbear Smashers, they might still be interested. Barania is just about living on 10 HP here underneath a ward. The rest of Chicken Fighters relatively healthy. Not a whole lot of spells to go around, however. Chicken Fighters realizing this now might look for any exit frags they could get, but Hellbear Smashers are going to make the call to go ahead and leave the fight. They're happy this time. They got the kill onto the Luna.
Yeah, this time, that was just a return kill. That's actually just for their own psychological ease, right? It had nothing to do with actually the kill being good or you're trying to kill a carry. It's like we owed them this, right? And now we feel good with ourselves. Now we can continue playing our normal game. Axe is about to get a shard, and things are about to become really difficult for Chicken Fighters. As I mentioned, Axe carry with a shard build and Manta style is so effective against agility carries. Luna is a hero that usually depends on having a decent amount of armor, so she's gonna struggle. Invoker's also very weak to this build, so is Hoodwink. Only DK is able to survive this, and honestly, I think DK can't survive the Lina, so it's tough. It is going to become a tough game for Chicken Fighters. They need to find a solution to this. Some way to jump the backline, some way to deal with the Axe. And I think the solution for the Axe has got to be the Invoker's Tornado.
Yeah, I'd agree. That's going to be your fastest source of counter initiation, because I think you want to save DK for maybe one of these important backliners. The way that he's been very quick to identify that Tofu not only is a big fan, but a big problem for the team fights with that Winter's Curse and taking him immediately out of the game.
No, we are big fans.
We are big fans, correct. As we all are, hashtag Tofu big fan. But obviously, Chicken Fighters aren't a big fan of him, especially this game. They want to make sure Curse doesn't come out, and with very good reason, because Curse is going to set you up for an LSA. It's going to allow Pugna to get into a good position. It's going to let Mars do this. It's going to let Axe. It leads to so many things. There's so many problems. Even though you have a good answer in the Phoenix, it's still not going to be totally free, because we've got an even better answer for the Phoenix, and that is the Lina.
And Barney actually did end up going for the travels in the end, which I love, by the way. I think this is the ideal build now. You have Yule, so you can actually be impactful early. You mitigated some of the weaknesses of having Axe carry, which is, well, you have to wait up to 20 minutes to do something. And now you can still farm and recover. So Barani is going to become a nice late game carry as well. Alright, Rasmus, that might have not been the play. They have no safe to help him. There was nobody there from Smashers. So, look, I admire the zeal in Rasmus at his old age of 29. He's already showing it's the spirit of a youngster.
Of course.
But that might have been a bit too overzealous.
What was crazy to me was that he went and he threw the spear. Okay, there's a curse. Hold that thought. Good damage here. Great damage onto Shibe. They're trying to keep alive with the Sunray, with the call on top. They might even fight Charlie here with it. They try and give him the break. The dunk's not going to be enough damage, but the life drain is Supernova on the high ground. Is not going to do Jack Diddley squad here as Supreme is being controlled down from the Yule Scepter into the LSA. He will go. No detection nearby for him, though. Ace is going to need to get a blink call off to find him, but he's going to go north. The rest of Smashers are going to go south to try and finish off Peksu and Ira now.
And Peksu, they do hit him with a Light Strike Array. Ace is able to set up. There's no more Icarus die. They hit him. Gilker just decrepifying him, so Ace can't get the kill. Instead, giving it to Varania. It's fine. People ask us, why are you a big fan of Tofu? I think that Winter's Curse show why everyone's a Tofu hashtag big fan. Because that was just an awesome curse.
What a cheeky, what a cheeky Sunstrike.
Cheeky Sunstrike. But yeah, it's just it was a really solid curse. He understood. He's like, we're stronger right now. Mars died, but it's fine. We don't need him. Luna is going to be my real tool this game. And in fact, they can actually continue this. Rasmus lost the arena because he didn't get to use it earlier. He's going to use it against the Squirrel. That's going to be a dead Squirrel here. Era won't be able to survive this. Supreme trying to get in, but Supreme being sucked dry. Here comes Ace as well. With a Battle Hungry damage, he might just die. The Quad is healing. No, the Cooling Blade will finish him off. And the Decrep saves the Mars on top of that Golden Brace for the extra healing. They now find Shib in a really difficult position. They spear him back against the lower part of that cliff. And Shibit will unfortunately lose his heart there. Much like the anime there. Spear him, take his heart away. No Morana to save you there.
No Morana. No Morana. Not even a Squirrel. I just really have to quickly call out Rasmus, completely rectifying his play top there. This was just the perfect arena. He kept the Luna outside of the arena, and like I said, you can still bounce your glaives through the arena. That means you have to be able to attack something. Luna, all she could do there was offer a couple of loosened beams, and that was it. Supreme was expecting some support as he was looking to kind of close this pincer, kind of like a crab play, if you will, to try and connect and punish Hellbear Smashers for going so far into the triangle. But he gets repelled super easily because Luna's not able to kind of connect with him there thanks to that arena. So really good heads-up play from Rasmus. Off the back of this, they're even going to get first Roche in the game. So it's a great start right now for the Hellbear Smashers. We've hit our timing for Axe. He's about to get BKB, and we're just Omega powerful. This was that kind of 5-minute period for Chicken Fighters in the draft that I was speaking of that I'm really afraid of for them. It's hard to stop all this net worth, all these power spikes that Hellbear Smashers have managed to align.
And they also don't depend on big cooldowns. Like, yeah, you have Winter's Curse and Arena of Blood, which is somewhat big, not even that large, but you don't depend on them whatsoever. You depend on the axes, which is the skull, and that's going to be online every 10 seconds. So it's going to be tough for you to stave off or play around this. I also want to point out that for Misery, even though we joke about sometimes he being overzealous, the reality is sometimes he just understands it's the right time to fight. And maybe his team doesn't, but he does. And so he fights almost always in the right time. He might be a bit too aggressive, but as you saw, he almost always corrects himself. And we're going to see this again as they go for the triangle. Rasmus knows there's a moment to fight, and so does his team this time. They're all together. Shibit actually as good a target as any right now, as DK is very killable, but it's nighttime, so they don't get to see him.
Oh, no, they will not, unfortunately. They will have to try again later. Rasmus, I mean, we're about to get 2 big items, though, so they're doing well to look for these fights. As bottom, Pexu's going to be able to escape from Borania. But we're about to have triple BKB on our course, right? Lena's got hers. She's already had it for some time, to be honest. We're going to have Axe. Ace is going to finish up his very quickly, just needs enough for the recipe. And I believe Rasmus is, yeah, he's actually in the same exact spot. So we can get this triple BKB timing. We can easily force one fight or take both tier 2 towers remaining with Aegis and triple 9-second BKB. You're not scared of Luna anymore. You're not scared of Invoker. Yeah. You're not scared of Fiend. Like, what do we do? What do we do for Chicken Fighters? I think Chicken Fighters, they need to go now. They need to try and find an opening before this triple BKB timing is up, because I don't know what they do if they're just going to be trapped on the high ground and starved off of all the farm. They still need more farm for Supreme, mostly experience. He's almost there, but he's still kind of paying off this Midas.
I actually agree on that point, because right now, if you have the full information of the map, you are aware that Hellbear Smashers are trying to get these BKBs. And that means that you know that they're going to be spread out around the map, trying to maximize the resource, right? The resource acquisition. Of course. Which means that you know they're going to be spread out, so you can actually go and hunt them with DK or Hood. But that information is very available to us with all the information that we have, not as easy for the Chicken Fighters. And I think that's what's leading them to not make the choice yet. They're trying to force a fight here while they have the high ground advantage. It's a good idea, but maybe not the best if they knew what's happening right with Smashers, which is them just trying to reach the next power spike.
Exactly. I'm going to use like a chess term. You know, it's a gambit. Chess is real big on Twitch. I think a lot of people will know. Not the Queen's gambit, just a regular gambit, which means usually you sacrifice a piece or make a risky play in exchange for positioning, right? I would say, and you can decline these, basically, right? And I'd say that Hellbear Smashers, they have the option of playing a quote-unquote gambit by, like, really pushing all these tier 2 towers, forcing a fight, but they're going to decline. They're not going to go for it. They want to get these BKBs up because they can feel like with positioning, they're going to be ready to go. Now we've got one BKB for Ace ready to go, and there's a great jump onto Pexu. They're trying to hold him down with the push. But Pexu, he only flew a little bit away. He's still caught in the arena. Oh, no. That caged bird is not singing any longer, Alvaro, as he was going to be taken down. That's going to give a big opening here for the Smashers. Dead for 60 seconds.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. He's not going to be laying any eggs.
Nope.
He's not going to be turning into one either.
Nope.
It's just going to be a dead Phoenix straight up. And that's going to be a tower for sure as well. Kilger, he's accepted his role as the ambulance. Oh my god, he's so good. Oh, Kilger. I'm a big fan of you, dude. He kept the creep alive. It didn't work out. Actually, that might just broke the backdoor protection enough for them to take the tower. Yeah, there we go. Gilger. Good job. People create this hero pool for only being Mirana and Nyx.
I will say
Gotta
they did just passively lose their top lane, their top 2-2. Sorry, so you know that's not it's not perfect.
That is not.
It's not
matter.
perfect.
Let's not concentrate.
And genuinely, actually, I don't think it does matter. I don't think Hellbear Smashers are too interested in ever going back into their jungle for more than 5 minutes, 3 minutes even, right?
That's true.
Basically, the one Roshan respawn period, as this Aegis is about to expire here in 27 seconds. After that, they just want to keep the pressure up. They're totally happy with how this is going. Heck, they'll even take a fight without Aegis, because guess what? Now we have our triple BKBs ready to go. What are you going to do? Run at us? Are you going to try and eclipse us? I don't think you are. It's a great... I really like how Hellbear Smashers is... They're taking this calm, calculated approach to the game, despite having this run-at-you lineup.
Yep. Well, Chicken Fighters, I think, are doing the right thing right now of managing to avoid fights. It's the best thing you can muster until you get some big items. I think the Trial Boots and Supreme will help up as well to be able to push these lanes out and everything. But to me, the turning point for Supreme, or in general for Chicken Fighters, might just be the Cataclysm. You know, to punish those Cold Embraces, to be able to put them or kill the Pugna in general, or the Lina, especially if you just initiate with Dragon Tail. The Boots of Travel are a means to an end, which is you push out the lanes so you get more time so you can actually farm the Ags. I'm okay with it, but it's not until you get the Ags that your game solidifies again.
Yep. We almost have, we've got one BKB here first for the Invoker. I think that's the right move here. But at the very least, we do have Supreme Invoker. You know, when you do get the early points in Quas and Wex, you're pretty sneaky. You can move around the map. You have a bit more freedom of movement. And because you were able to get that Tier 2 tower basically for free, we saw he was doing a great job of just relieving as much pressure as possible. I'd be really interested to see now how Hellbear Smashers are going to be looking to play this Roshan period. It's going to be up as soon as in 2 minutes. Could be an additional 3 after that. But they have all their, not all of the items they could ever want, but I think they're at a really key point here where they're really strong. They don't really care about the Luna's magic damage, but we're quickly reaching that point where the Luna might have enough physical damage to kill you through the BKBs. And that's where my concern comes from here, Albo. I'm not sure if maybe they're playing a little bit too lax now.
No, I don't think so. I think the Axe bursts through Luna, honestly.
Okay.
Like, I think Axe is like a paper cutter, Luna's origami. It's just going to deal with her so easily.
You know, you
deal pure damage.
You don't
Luna
cut
has 2K
origami,
HP.
you fold it.
No, but in this case, you're going to cut it.
Okay, you're going to cut it. Okay, this is
You know,
Spanish origami.
tear right
I got
through
it, I got it, I got it.
Exactly, that's what we do. I just feel like the Luna's it's not a hero that can deal with a carry axe. Most agility heroes actually don't do well. I feel like for some reason there's been this narrative, I guess because Axe always was an offlaner, that he's a good hero in the early mid game and then falls off. No, he doesn't. He does not against agility carries. If you don't tank up with a bunch of HP, he's going to tear right through you. And if he gets enough attack speed, he'll tear right through you, even if you have a decent amount of HP. You need to just always be above him, above his damage output with your HP, and it's so difficult to do that. And we're not even considering the Lina factor, right? Whereas Lina has nobody to get close to her, nobody to stop her from attacking, has an AC, because she wants to buff up the Axe even further.
Yeah.
And she is going to tear through your Luna as much as the Axe is.
Yeah, I think the AC is to help her do some damage right against all the physical armor, because while she has got pure damage eventually with the Ag Scepter, it's going to be armor that's going to be stopping her from doing all this damage to Luna, of course, with that 27 base armor already. Good smoke here from Chicken Fighters. 15 seconds till the fastest Roche spawn as they have potentially found a kill onto Gilger. Sharpshooter will connect. Shibe setting up another one. Okay, the Sunray, they just needed a little bit more Sunny D there for the kill. Sunray not going to be canceled, but it will be canceled there by the Calling Blade of Ace as he pops the BKB. They've got Shibe. He's overextended a bit as Borane will just stand his ground, pop the BKB, and slice him to pieces. The outing from Chicken Fighters unsuccessful, just picking up the kill onto Gilger, but they're going to lose Shibe for that. Luckily for them, they won't know this. Neither will Smashers. It's a long Roche. 90 seconds till he's up.
Yeah, solid. I mean, the kill on Shibe is definitely more worth than the kill on Gilger there. Pexu got forced to fight back. Pexu is actually a great target to initiate team fights on. He can bring the Supernova. We might see a dieback hit again. And not really to a fault of his own, because he needs to play so precisely to get the Supernova off. I feel like the only Supernova you can really have in this game is a defensive one. And it has to be like, you have to be right on position, because you won't be able to Icarus dive to a defensive Supernova most of the time, so It is a tough one. It is a tough one for Pexu to play. I'm a big fan of Pexu Pigeon, but I do not think this is the game for Pigeon whatsoever.
Pexu Pigeon, yeah. No, I mean, again, the point of the draft still stands, right? He is going to be a great counter to Wyvern almost at any stage of the game, and that doesn't change. Even though you have a Lina, it changes slightly because you can't just like Supernova right on top of a Winter's Curse. It's not that easy. You got to be a little bit clever with it, but I think you hit the nail on the head, which is it's got to be defensive Supernovas at the end of the day. That does leave us...
Because even if you Supernova on Winter's Curse, you just hit the egg and ignore the heroes in the Winter's Curse, right? So it's not actually that protected. Because it allows Lina to walk closer, murder the egg, and go
exactly.
back.
The Lina's the issue
the
there.
duration
Yeah.
of the Winter's Curse. Yeah, exactly. That was it. I just had to make that little point.
Oh, I got you.
Illusion.
Smoke play now.
Because I do feel like it's generally a counter, but not this game.
Chicken Fighters, they want to try and perhaps make a little
Radiant's
wraparound. You can
middle
see a
tower
great
is under
circle
attack.
being drawn by Rasmus, kind of acknowledging, hey, there are enemies missing off the map. We have Illusions casually cutting all of their waves because Axe is a very balanced hero. And let's just go ahead and fortify in their triangle. Let them come to us. Roche number 2 is now alive. Sunstrike is going to scan that one out from Supreme.
Radiant's middle tower.
They have
is
managed
under
to sneak
attack.
around here into the Hellbear Smasher's jungle, but I think they're going to be forced back here eventually because all 3 waves are shoving in pretty far, top and mid lane already at the tier 3.
Yeah, it's tough to cut lanes against the Axe for this very reason. Like, you can't even kill the Illusion in time before he destroys all your creeps. Luna is a good answer to this, but you have Gilger on the enemy side, who's very good at dealing with the Luna Illusions himself. So no ghost pushing from one of the teams. The other one doesn't have an advantage. There's a shard on this Roshan. They're going to detect it. But I don't think...
Luna's a bit too far.
No, I don't know what Hellbear Smashers can... I mean, they're going to smoke in. They're hoping to fight. They do have a Supernova. And Smasher's like, yeah, we're not staying here any longer. We're going to the high ground. We're smoking up to it. We see Shibe. Shibe actually stuns out the Winter Wyvern. And there's a Supernova in the middle of it. They gotta destroy the egg. They should be able to. The Supernova just gets destroyed in a matter of seconds. Ace even catches up to Luna. And he's just spinning to win. Lightstrike won't actually hit her because she has BKB. And in fact, Ace now in trouble. Use the arena to get away. No more BKB for Charlie, but Rasmus might still be dying. Saved by the Crep. In comes Borania yet again. In trouble though, as Borania against 3 heroes, surrounded and killed. Borania will fall. Kilker trying to get away from Shiba will succeed in doing so as the Axe trying to do the same thing. Ace does have the boot to travel, she's able to TP immediately.
Wait, Luna's in trouble?
Well. In fact, actually continuing the fight. Yeah, Borania came back, just able to kill Charlie, but Charlie's still alive, fighting against Misery, and Rasmus is going to die. They Satanic keeping Charlie alive. Gilgo regretting ever trusting in his teammates, deciding to go back home. Hopefully doesn't die for this, but I don't think he has a choice. Shiba's chasing after him. There are the TPs. Gilgo's like, guys, you better save me. I died for you guys. He did die, but is he gonna accomplish anything with this? He might get a kill on Shiba as a result. And they missed the call, but it doesn't seem to matter too much. Lightstrike will hit, and Borania will do the job that Axe can't, as Shiba does die. Charlie, however, still dangerous. Rasmus comes back in, just for no reason, really. Rasmus run away. Rasmus is almost dead. Berserker Skull, no! Even with a big hit, he's going to fall. But Supreme and Era dive together with them, and Ace is starting to spin again. This team fight was so long. Charlie got his BKB back up together with Ace. But this time Ace is manning up. He knows he can beat the BKB Luna, and he's going to succeed. Borania so angry, he Laguna plays an illusion just for the heck of it.
Mate, that fight was approximately 2 minutes long, as I recall. I love this. This is pretty good Dota between the two teams. They're just the back and forth here, recognizing the strengths and recognizing a major strength right here is Chicken Fighters. Everyone, I believe, on Chicken Fighters has bought back. Quite literally, everyone has bought back for this. 4 heroes alive versus the 2 of Hellbear Smashers without BKBs. Yeah, we got to do Roshan right now. In they go. Aegis number 2, usually the game changer, is going to be theirs after a long, arduous fight that I would say they win. It was really all about that second Roche, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think I don't know. The Roche is a win, but I would say that before the Roche, Hellbear Smashers won that, to be honest. I feel like the Axe survived, and he managed to kill Charlie over the end. So I'd say it was a win for Smashers before the Roshan.
Okay.
Maybe with the Roshan, you can argue Chicken Fighters got the better part. You forced a bunch. I mean, it was so confusing, honestly. There were so many buybacks and so many TPs that I wasn't really sure about in general.
Yeah. So
and actually, in general, Misery, I wasn't sure about him the whole fight. It was a tough one to follow him around.
Let's just recap real quick. Everyone died except for Axe. Everyone else, except for Tofu, that died, fought back, right? And that's where we're sitting at.
Really?
What?
No, Charlie didn't buy back.
Charlie did buy back.
Charlie didn't buy back. Did he?
Otherwise, I mean, he bought back in the last minute and a half. I don't know any other big event that happened. Oh, that's a big event that's happening, though. Sunray's going to try and keep him topped off. Oh, they're actually going to look to turn now. Ace hit by the cold snap. Gilger will be able to force him away. Oh, there's the flicker.
Oh, flicker.
There's the flicker.
No. Guys, GG. Don't even watch this game any longer. Smashers won. Whoever gets flicker wins the game. We know this. It's against an Invoker as well. Like, come on. Supreme is probably tearing his hair out right now after seeing
Well,
that.
there's a chance.
What do I do? How do I stop?
Chicken Fighters might have a flicker as well. They have to still drop 2 of their own neutral items. Oh, but Charlie, he's underneath the ward. He's got the back into the rest of his team.
Charlie.
Okay.
Charlie. Jimmy walks in, activates the BKB. There's the arena. Blood hits nobody. Rasmus actually
Great
in trouble.
supernova.
Yeah, this time might complete. Winter's Curse to reset the fight. Misery might still be in trouble. Borania helping him out. Light Strike Array, but there's just no damage. Rasmus, for now, managed to get away. Bushwhack, but Berserker's Call saves him. Ace with a flicker. Charlie just trying to fight against Borania alone. It seems like Shib is going to be the first target together with Rasmus, so the offlaners will die first. Always go for the tankiest heroes first, they say.
Gilger?
As Gilger might be suffering. He has no flicker, no way to dispel this, so he's just going to die to the Cold Snap plus Vessel combo, and a bit of extras there. They want Tofu Big Fan as well, but they're not going to be able to catch him. So in the end, it's going to be an offlane exchange with a Pugna to go.
Pugna to go, please. Thank you very much. One for the road. And that is going to possibly Chicken Fighters looking to go up high ground. They know that Rasmus, as well as Gilger, are going to be without buyback. They don't have Shibe. They don't have really the tank that they want. But arguably at this stage now, Abo, 3200 HP with the miss rate. Oh, you're quite tanky, but not maybe tanking up for the Axe. Great counter initiation there off the Tornado. Satanic activated, lifted by the Yule Scepter of Borania. Ace trying to be kept alive through the Cold Embrace, but they've murdered him. The double tips coming through, as he was not allowed to get any attacks off through the Cold Embrace. That all started from a great Tornado from Supreme. Charlie, on good HP, does not have Satanic anymore, but still has Aegis. I don't think they can really kick him off the high ground too easily now.
That was actually really cute, because you can see the core thinks that who messes up was the Axe, and then the support thinks who messed up was the Wyvern. You know, you can tell the recognition of each other's roles there. Charlie producing so many illusion now with Illusion Escape. Not a bad item, mind you. Not at Flicker level, but honestly for a Luna, this is pretty great. And now I feel like we've gone to the threshold where the Luna is tanky enough to deal with the Axe initiation, and she's been using a power spike we didn't really talk about earlier, but that's been vital, which is the Butterfly, right? Axe doesn't usually go for MKB. Illusions don't get that benefit from the True Strike. So that means that you're missing a lot of spins. You're not getting those spins if you're missing those attacks. You're missing actually a lot of damage in general. Yep. So Butterfly has been really well utilized. Very sneaky here for Charlie. And it's been difficult for Hellbear Smashers to deal with him. In fact, I think we need an MKB on Lina.
She's going for one. She is going for one. Do you think that MKB is going to be enough? I was thinking maybe Bloodthorn against Manta, though, and Satanic, and yeah, maybe not this late. Man, that's the thing. I feel like Bloodthorn is... This is welcome to the segment of the game where I complain about how Bloodthorn is just a bad item, and it's so niche that I barely see it get picked up anymore. Like, I feel like this should be the game where, like, Bloodthorn is the answer to the late-game Luna. It's already expensive enough, but no. It's just dispelled by everything in the game. I don't know. That's my gripe with the item. But you're totally right about this. It's wise of you to acknowledge this. It has been a big problem. MKB now for Lina, as it's now Borania's turn to step up to the plate and start really dealing the damage here, right? We can no longer really rely on the Axe for the damage. The lockdown still persists, still extremely valuable, and if he can make sure that that Luna's able to attack, he's still be able to proc spins normally. But like you're saying, with the Manta style, looking for the attacks when they do miss, you don't already get to you don't get the chance to spin off of those. So that's where the issue's coming from.
Yeah, so I like this. I think it's the MKB is just a necessity, because Lina was also a lot of supplemental damage, and they've been able to deal with her nicely to a degree. I find that Pugna's healing might have reached the peak, maybe 5-6 minutes ago, where you just don't heal as much anymore. He didn't go for Holy Locket, mind you. I don't think it's that great on Pugna. In general, you want to stay alive, but now you've been able to catch these guys out. You've also been making really chaotic team fights if you haven't been able to notice that, so that's been a benefit to Chicken Fighters. Because their only team fight that really needs consistency or needs like a more stable fight, you know, in positioning, is the Phoenix Egg. But it's useless. So why would you ever want a consistent team fight? You want as much chaos as possible to make sure the calls are only on a single person ever, to make sure the Pugna doesn't know where to go or who's he's protected by, to make sure Wyvern always doubts if his Cold Embrace is the right target or not.
Not very true. What surprises me this game, Alvaro, is I was just looking at Supreme because I was going, man, he was casting a lot of spells more than I thought. He's got Octarine. No, he's got Quickening Charm, so I got that one right. I thought for sure this was the game to go for this Tornado cooldown talent, especially seeing as how powerful it was there for the Axe. I don't think you necessarily lose the game if the Tornado is not ready for Charlie, but I think you lose Aegis in that sense. So I don't know. It was good that Chicken Fighters were able to nuke him fast enough as soon as he came back down from the tornado. Maybe that's the thinking, and hey, we don't need this tornado cooldown talent. But I thought for sure I'd be seeing that one this game. But Alacrity onto Charlie. I mean, I think we're seeing now why it's such a valuable pickup on that talent instead.
Exactly. The steroids allow you to take more advantage of your Luna, right? In general, when you have that option with a carry that can utilize them, I think Luna, Gyro, and Medusa are the best heroes at using steroids. It's always take that talent, I'd say. Like, Tornado cooldown is nice if you're losing and you feel like you really need that desperate, you know, lift. But that means you're not going to get the Alacrity for a while. So you're planning on losing for the next, what, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
That's not a good
I mean, that's fair, but I'd also say it's you're planning on getting initiated on. Because even when Chicken Fighters go up to the high ground, they're not really looking to pick fights.
No, I agree.
Right? They're looking for the Axe to jump in and do his. I mean, what's an Axe going to do? Right? He's going to jump onto you. That's what he does. Either that or he's going to lose the game. Right? That's how he plays. So that's why I thought maybe we were going to see it. But I mean, look. I mean, just look how fast these towers fall.
I'm not trying to do. I wasn't trying to flame you that comment. I was more saying, like, I like Charlie's idea that eventually we're going to have to win, and we might as well try to do it now.
I like it.
He is a strong case still. He can still be bursted down, though. Oh, that's a good position by Era. Winter's Cursed.
They missed the spear.
Charlie. Oh, the BKB. They missed. Well, I mean, the BKB just saved him, actually. They hit him with a Berserker's Call, but they just don't have enough damage to kill him. Charlie's going to survive. The Satanic Supernova is not being broken this time, and Rasmus has stayed behind. Orania also. Orania trying to man-fight the Luna, but Laguna Blade was used during the
Big call.
There's a beautiful call into 5. Big call with 25 talent. But it's just not enough damage. Charlie's not dying. In fact, who might be dying instead is Borania. Borania with a little Stormcrafter might just save himself. Sunstrike misses. Borania's being healed. They have the Dragonfire, everything to kill off Borania. Rasmus dying in the backline. Borania lifting himself up, down, finally underground. They kill Borania, take him out, and now Hellbear Smashes only has 1 core left. A little piggy Winter Wyvern will be the final kill for Chicken Fighters. And Hellbear Smashers, they're not going to be able to fight this without their Lina. The Axe is not strong enough. He's fallen off indeed. Now Luna with steroids is just too powerful.
The reason I say is we missed the spears because the Winter's Curse had her ready to go. You know, you come out of Curse into the spear immediately, but it was just late.
Right.
It was just late. It never came. And Axe was expecting it. He didn't go for the call, I think, for that reason. I think there was just a bit of miscommunication on who is locking down this Luna. Because after their curse came through, they weren't ready. Now Ace is going to go on in. BK beat up. Big damage onto Supreme. Needs to get a couple more spins. And now we've got the dunk. Charlie is getting the damage in, but he's also taking quite a hit as a result. Satanic already uses Borania now. BKBing up. Going to try and get this kill onto Shibe. Forced back by all the Moonglaves as there's going to be the Sunray out from Pexu to keep everyone topped up. Force Staff is going to be out for Borania as he's going to lift himself up underneath his tier 4 towers. Ace looking to go back in. Can't get the call off. Cannot get the call off. Stunned to the life drain. And now the flicker getting him out of dodge. Oh, what an item. What an item, Avo.
Maximum range. Max range flicker. Come on, Ace. Ice Frog, you can just give him the win. You don't need to do this to him. Oh my goodness. Chicken Fighters. They're actually leaving because they're so frustrated because the flicker has nothing to do with them actually needing to leave. They're just done. I mean, clearly you can see they do have the damage. It's just, they just need to coordinate the fight properly, and I think Chicken Fire's been really stopping this. I really want to highlight Shiva's performance. His DK Dragon Tails has been stopping any sort of follow-up. Honestly, most of the heal. Chicken Fire has been playing a really good mid game here. They never lost track. They played a bit defensively, and it showed that they just trusted their Luna, and we mishandled it. That's true. We didn't. At least I didn't give enough credit to the Luna into the mid late game, and she's just demolishing.
See, and that's what I mean. That's why I brought it up, right? Just to really set you up for failure. That's what I'm here for, Al. But don't worry, I got you. I'm always here
Thank you. I know,
to
I
let
know.
you down. As now we're gonna go for a
Look, I like my words. All right, I'm gonna eat them every day. I'll spend the whole day eating them. They taste nice.
Well, Luna's going to spend a whole day eating these axes as Rasmus closes the gap. This time we got the pin to the trees as we have now popped Pexu's Aeon Disc. Laguna Blade, everything out for Charlie as he will pop the BKB. Satanic now trying to get in the damage. Ace is going to go ahead and turn around, get him with another call. We need a dunk to come through for the kill. LSA, the curse, stopping Shivet from counter-initiating. It also catches Supreme in the meantime. Double buyback out from Chicken Fighters as now Ace, who's dropped, he's going to buy back. He's going to have to TP all the way back in, though, with the BOTs, but Piranha's in trouble. Ace cannot make it in time. Oh, but just kidding, actually. He's already back onto the lines. As Pexu, oh, they missed the dunk though. Charlie finally still looking to get some more damage in with the Eclipse as Ace has just died back. He's gone down.
Okay, Ace is dead, Brania as well. Neither of them would buy back. They'll find Gilger on top of this. I think it was PG, buddy. Yeah, did not make it out of this one. I love, by the way, the Piranha was so tired of Luna not dying, they decided, I know these arena walls are technically mine, but I'm going to get inside them because maybe it's blocking my projectiles. Like, maybe, just maybe, that's why the Luna is living. I don't know if you noticed that little play that he made. It actually put him out of position because of that, because he was just so frustrated with Luna's existence. Congratulations to Chicken Fighters. They need a solid carry to make this work, and it was just... it's exactly